Hey folks, welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. Last time we explored the dev environment behind the game and watched one of the side stories. We're back in the main scenario, and having read our poem to Monica, we have to pick who to read it to next. Now, we did learn that inadvertently or unintentionally, the poem we wrote will most resonate with Sayori, so I think we'll read it to her next. Oh my goodness. This is so good, Josue. Huh? I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Huh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Josue poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like, I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Okay. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Josue. Deep down, you're not selfish at all. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Yeah, we'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. I mean, it's a very happy-go-lucky poem. I guess if she has the two sides to her, this is the side she wants to show us. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Okay, next up we can choose between Natsuki and Yuri. I guess I'll just do these in order. Let's go with Natsuki next. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Poem's called Eagles Can Fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't going to like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard, like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Okay, and that leaves Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finishes her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, it's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past, The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah, well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting's pretty. Huh? Oh, that's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Josue. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Oh, it's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Whew, I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. It's a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Josue did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, just excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Josue liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Boy, these girls are really going at it. It's like that, it's a very passive-aggressive, fight between them. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Josue appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? You that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Josue started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. What? I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Josue, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. She could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Josue. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Josue? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's gonna be... I mean... Yikes. I kind of feel worse for Yuri than for Natsuki, because it seems like Natsuki started the fight. She's kind of picking on her. I think Yuri was honestly trying to help her, and Natsuki just like got mean about it, so... I think I'll pick Yuri here. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri. Huh? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. At this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I have to say, the way that the protagonist is written to have handled that is quite mature. I'm actually really impressed. For somebody who's like portrayed as kind of lazy and not particularly self-confident and a little bit flippant, that was a really well-handled discussion of this tense situation. Anyway, back to the writing here. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm gonna do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything all right? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, all right, I believe you. Thanks, Josue. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as a part of this club now. Oh, yes, it's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said? Natsuki basically accused her of stuffing her bra, which is hilarious, and she's hung up on it. About, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So, huh? What thing did Natsuki say? I think he knows exactly what Natsuki said, but he's playing obtuse. Well, never mind that. I'm gonna go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Monica comes to the fore. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Mostly. Josue, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Josue, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Huh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. You know, Josue, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... Every day's gonna be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, let's take a second here to save the game and exit out to the desktop here. Now, if we look at the game files, we can choose Sayori's winning words, we can choose Yuri's winning words, and Natsuki's, but not Monika's. Which is a little bit, I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Do we have anything else that we can look at here? I don't think so. Meeting notes 1, system, set map, tower keys, no fast mem, merge mem, init printer format, fix fonts. Yeah. I'm just sort of wondering, who should we, like, given that we have access to these poem words, who should we go after? I don't think we're that interested in Sayori. And Natsuki kind of showed her mean side here, like immature, which kind of turned me off. I kind of liked Yuri's intellectual analysis. So I kind of, since we can't go after Monika, maybe we'll write a poem for Yuri here. So I'm not quite sure what these values are. 113, 213, 213. Maybe it's first poem, second poem, third poem. But determination, suicide, imagination, secretive, vitality, existence, effulgent, crimson, whirlwind, afterimage, vertigo, disoriented, essence, ambient, starscape, disarray, contamination, intellectual, analysis, entropy, vivacious, uncanny, incongruent, wrath, heaven sent, massacre, philosophy, fickle, tenacious, aura, unstable, inferno, incapable, destiny, infallible, agonizing, variance, uncontrollable, extreme, flee, dream, disaster. 915. Why does that have 3 here? Vivid, vibrant, question, fester, judgment, cage, explode, pleasure, lust, sensation, climax, electricity, disown, despise, infinite, eternity, time, universe, unending, raindrops, covet, unrestrained, landscape, portrait, journey, meager, anxiety, frightening, horror, melancholy, insight, atone, breathe, captive, desire, graveyard. There's no way I can remember all this. I don't know what these numbers mean, but maybe we can capture a few of these and try to write a poem for her. Is there like a... So happiness and sadness is Sayori. Cute is Natsuki. And then Yuri's words are like intellectual, I guess. Words with like advanced words, I guess I'd call them. I guess we'll do our best here. Let's go back and write our second poem. I should be looking at those logos. Let's see. Infallible. Oh, it's actually kind of showing me, maybe it's showing me what they like. Heaven sent. Yeah, she bounces up and down when we use a word that she likes. Okay. Vivacious. Tenacious. Infinite. Intellectual. Massacre. Let's see. Existence. Vitality. Vibrant. Let's see what else we got going on here. Unending. Contamination. Eternity. Effulgent, I know she liked. Incongruent. Afterimage. Universe. Melancholy. Despise, I think. Yep. I think suicide was in there. I don't really want to use that word. Misery, maybe? Yeah, okay. So that last one we got wrong. That was for Sayori. But Yuri should really like this poem. All right. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Josaway. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. Heh. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Huh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Huh? Why that, all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I could see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri. Tell Josaway to let me borrow some money. Oh, don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Did I just... I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the revolution. Retribution. That! Still, coming from you, Sayori, I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes, so I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Whap! Kya! Ow. What was... Huh? A cookie! Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Geez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Sayori suddenly clasps her hand over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Sorry, I had a little bit of a cough there. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Geez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori... Huh? Natsuki glances around. Monika isn't in the club room. Where's Monika anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Huh? You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Hey, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monika chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monika quizzically glances at me. Never mind. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I just kind of lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika. I don't really. I just kind of started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monika. Monika looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'll also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Josue. Monika smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. Looks like everyone's already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri's back to her book, and Natsuki's disappeared into the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place, but I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Okay. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? And what's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Josue? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry about that. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then? But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. Sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. So we're reading the book with Yuri. I wonder if that's because we wrote the poem for her, or if this would have happened regardless, because we haven't gotten to the poem yet. But Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But, Josue, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that all right, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. All right, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. All right. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Okay, interesting. A little bit of an intimate moment there with Yuri. A little bit of closeness and kind of giving her a compliment. She's obviously like bought a second copy of the book because she wants to read it alongside me. There's a little bit of flirtation there. I'm not quite sure. How do I put this? I'm not quite sure how comfortable I am, like, fake dating these girls in this game, in this playthrough. Like, it's a little weird. Like, playing the character who's, like, trying to get with them. It's a bit odd. But I am interested to see where the story goes, so we'll keep going forward with it. I am going to take a break here, and when we come back next time, we will share our second poem with Monica, Yuri, Natsuki, and Sayori. I think we'll probably go with Yuri first since we wrote it for her and see how she responds to it. And then we'll read it to the rest and see where the story takes us from there. But that's going to be it for this time. I don't know about this game. It's interesting, but it's making me feel a little bit weird, a little awkward. I'm not quite sure what to make of it yet. And it's definitely a slow burn. Like last episode when we found the dev files, that was really interesting. But now it's back to... like flirting with these girls, and it's like, you know, okay, fine. If that's what we need to do to advance the story, we can do that, but how do I put this? It's not something I would normally play. I'll put it that way. Let me know what you think. Did you, for those of you who've played through it, did you have a similar kind of weird reaction to the, like, flirt with girls part of it? Or... like when you played it, did you know some of what was about to happen and kind of plow through this stuff to get to the more interesting stuff? Or what? I'm just curious what you guys think about this playthrough. It's a very unusual game for my channel, so I'm very interested in your feedback. If you could leave me any kind of comment at all, I'd really appreciate it. But other than that, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.